Lesson 12, Section 9. What happened? The Monroe Doctrine. Both Thomas Jefferson and James Madison liked the idea of joining with Great Britain to send a warning to the nations of Europe. Jefferson wrote to James Monroe, "Our first and fundamental principle should be, never entangle ourselves in the broils or fights of Europe. Our second, never to suffer Europe to intermeddle or interfere with America, North and South." President Monroe's Secretary of State, John Quincy Adams, agreed with Jefferson, but Adams insisted that it would be more candid or honest, as well as more dignified, for the United States to speak boldly for itself. President Monroe agreed. In 1823, Monroe announced in his annual message to Congress a policy that became known as the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine, President James Monroe's declaration in 1823 that the Western Hemisphere was no longer open to European colonization. Monroe stated that the nations of North and South America were free and independent, and were not to be considered as subjects for future colonization by any European powers. The United States, he said, would view efforts by Europeans to take over any portion of this hemisphere as dangerous to our peace and safety. Europeans denounced Monroe's message as arrogant. By what right, asked a French newspaper, did the United States presume to tell the other nations of the world what they could do in North and South America? Americans, however, cheered Monroe's message. It made them proud to see the United States stand up for the freedom-loving people of Latin America. In the years ahead, the Monroe Doctrine joined isolationism as a basic principle of U.S. foreign policy. The doctrine asserted that the United States would not accept European interference in the affairs of the Americas. It also contained another, hidden message. By its very boldness, the Monroe Doctrine told the world that the United States was no longer a weak collection of quarreling states. It was becoming a strong and confident nation, a nation to be respected by the world.